In this video, you find me with the 2022 Nissan Frontier. This one is a Pro 4X crew cab model finished in deep blue pearl with charcoal leather interior. It comes equipped with technology, Pro 4X convenience, and Pro premium packages. And it also comes with a sport bar, bed access, and also the off-road style step rails. With delivery, all of this comes in at $46,570. And in this video, I'll share with you my likes and dislikes about Nissan's new redesigned midsize pickup truck and to find out whether this is better than the Toyota Tacoma. And if you learn anything new while watching this or have any feedback, make sure to leave a comment down below. And if you like this style of video review, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and especially that notification bell to see more videos like this one. For 2022, this Nissan Frontier gets a very drastic facelift. This is basically the same Nissan Frontier foundation that we've been familiar with for many years, but it gets a beefy redesign. The front end has a modern truck look with a big rectangular grille. There's plenty of straight-edged and perpendicular features that make this truck look much more tough and utilitarian than the one before it. The Pro X and the Pro 4X models also look more high-end with the LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and fog lamps. And this one is also showing off some off-road ready hardware like the gloss red tow hooks and an aluminum skid plate. And if you look underneath, there's also 3 additional skid plates along the truck. Looking from the side, you can sort of see visions of the old Frontier. This one has the same wheelbase at 126 inches, but with the squared off and high-shouldered fenders, this Frontier mimics the bigger half-ton trucks. This Pro 4X tester comes equipped with a 17-inch beadlock style wheels. They're not actually beadlock wheels, but they look good anyway. This one also comes with the off-road style step rails with the word Frontier on it. Both the Pro X and the Pro 4X models gets the slightly beefier 70 series all-terrain tires. So therefore, compared to the non-Pro X models, this will have a higher ground clearance, 9.5 inches at the front diff, 9.8 inches at the rear diff, and 8.6 inch minimum ground clearance. These off-road worthy models also gets the upgraded Bilstein off-road shocks, which are pretty fantastic on-road too. At the rear end, this crew cab comes with a 5-foot bed. The bed height has also increased, contributing to that big truck look. There's also a nifty step and handlebar to help you jump in. In the bed, it comes with a handy Utilitrack system, and to show off just a bit more, this Frontier has the sport bar. This is a bolt-on installation. It's made of black powder-coated aluminum, and it has integrated LED brake and bed lights. This add-on dramatically changes the look of the Frontier, and it gives it that modified and rugged feel. So from the showroom floor, this Nissan Frontier Pro 4X is off-road ready, and it looks the part. And it's giving me the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro vibes, which I've also reviewed, so if you want to see that video, click the link up here. Thankfully, Nissan also upgraded the interior so it doesn't look as old and tired as the old Frontier. Right in the middle, you have a 9-inch touchscreen infotainment system that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's not a bad infotainment layout, and most importantly, it's easy to use. There's also physical buttons and dials with an easy reach to control your music, HVAC, and also this nifty camera button which will turn on your 360-degree around view monitor. That makes parking and trail riding just a little bit easier. Looking straight ahead, there's a digital display within the cluster. You can display some off-road style gauges like your pitch and roll and also your transfer case settings. It's functional, but my only complaint is that the display is pretty low res and looks last generation. There's also plenty of storage locations in here. There's a pretty big center console storage. There's storage up here and also big storage on the door pockets. And there's a bunch of little neat features too, like you have your wireless charger and you've got your heated steering wheel and a couple of USB ports up front. As for the seating surfaces, this Pro 4X comes with leather pointed heated seats. The rear seats has an okay amount of legroom at 33.2 inches and it has a 60-40 split. You can also raise the seat bottoms upwards so you can store larger things across the second row. Overall, not a bad crew cab interior design. Now, most importantly, how does this thing drive? Being a mid-sized truck, this Nissan Frontier drives really well. The ride quality is great, on-road manners are pretty good, and I wouldn't mind making this a daily driver. Being a body-on-frame type of vehicle, I expected this to ride a bit rough, but Nissan made some decent upgrades to the cab mounts and the bump stops, and the Bilstein shocks are also great for both on and off-road situations. Road and tire noise is also manageable with the acoustic laminated glass, and there's more insulation in the right places. As for handling, it's a little better than what I would expect from a mid-size body-on-frame truck. There's a good bit of body roll, but that's been reduced with the stiffer sway bars up front and a stabilizer bar at the rear. And the steering is also on the heavy side. It's a little different than other vehicles on the road right now because those other cars have started using electric power steering, whereas this one is still using that hydraulic assisted rack and pinion. So it gives it more of that mechanical feel. There's also some decent power with the Frontier. In the engine bay, they all come standard with a 3.8 liter V6 that makes 310 horsepower and 281 pound-feet of torque. This is the same engine that's been found in the Frontier since the 2020 model year, and it's a market segment leader. This is better than the Toyota Tacoma's 3.5 liter V6, which makes 278 horsepower and 265 pound-feet of torque. And you could really tell the difference when you get on the highway because this feels much more capable and confident, whereas the Toyota Tacoma, you have to really push it very hard. The Frontier also has a 9-speed automatic transmission. This is a great combo with that engine. The shifting feels smooth and the driving experience is really nice. The fuel economy in this Nissan Frontier is 17 city and 22 highway and 19 miles per gallon combined. That's not better than the Toyota Tacoma's 18 city and 22 highway for the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro. I would have expected that the more overdrive gears in this transmission would have led to better highway miles, but that's not the case. Perhaps it's got a lot to do with the type of testing that's involved, so your mileage may vary. As for off-roading, the Pro 4X doesn't disappoint. The little bit of extra ground clearance from the bigger tires is nice. The front end also gives it a nice 32.3 degree approach angle, and the Bilstein struts do a pretty good job on these trails. If you want to engage the 4x4 system, that's pretty straightforward with the shift on the fly system that manages the electronic control transfer case. There's also an electronic locking rear diff to help you if you're stuck in a rut. Now, I don't have access to a proper off-road trail to test the Nissan Frontier, but judging by the specs, I would think that the Toyota Tacoma is going to do a little bit better because it's got that electromechanical limited slip diff, whereas this one has a brake-actuated LSD. Towing wise, the Frontier is rated at a maximum of 6,720 pounds. So that's looking at the lightest configured Frontier. This being the crew cab 4x4 configuration, the tow rating is actually 6,370 pounds. And that's not any better than the Toyota Tacoma, which is rated at 6,400 pounds for the TRD Pro. If you want to do more towing, you should probably consider other mid-sized trucks like the Chevy Colorado or the Ford Ranger. So overall, is this Nissan Frontier Pro 4X better than the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro? That really depends on what your needs are. If you're looking for a dedicated off-road machine, then you're probably better off with the Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro or the TRD off-road models, because those trucks have better off-road wizardry like the multi-terrain select system and also the crawl control and the electronically controlled limited slip diff. If you're looking for a more well-rounded jack-of-all-trades mid-sized truck, then I think this Nissan Frontier is better. The on-road manners feel more refined, the bigger and more powerful engine feels appropriate for this size truck, and finally the 9-speed automatic transmission is a perfect match because it makes the truck a better daily driver. But in general, the 2022 Nissan Frontier is a really nice upgrade compared to last year's model. I love the new redesign inside and out, and all the new tech that you can find in here is also pretty nice. So there you have it. I want to hear your thoughts on my review of this 2022 Nissan Frontier. If you've learned something new, please consider hitting that like, hitting that subscribe, and also hitting that notification bell so that you can be notified anytime we make a new video. Let's wrap it up right there. My name's Hanson. This has been the 2022 Nissan Frontier Pro 4X Crew Cab, and I'll see you in the next one.